Every day you're doing something you believe is keeping you healthy, and it's doing the opposite. I'm talking about cleaning your house. The habit you were taught would protect your family might be filling your air with more toxins than the dirty room you started with. Here's the part that sounds backwards. The cleaner your house looks, the more dangerous the air inside it can actually be. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why that happens. The one everyday cleaning habit, causing it, and a fix that takes about 10 seconds, but almost nobody does it. If you vacuumed, dusted, or swept this week, watch this before you do it again. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Dust doesn't just sit there. It hides in your carpet, in your couch, in your mattress. And when you vacuum, you're not removing all of it. You're launching a portion of it straight back into the air you breathe. Tiny particles, invisible to your eyes, but not invisible to your lungs. Let's slow down for a second, because this is the part most people never think about. House dust isn't just dirt. It's a mixture. Dead skin cells, pet dander, pollen tracked in from outside, mold spores, tiny fibers shed from carpet and fabric, and fine particles from things like candles or cooking. All of it settles onto your floors and furniture over time, and to your eyes it looks harmless. Just a light layer you wipe or vacuum away. But here's the problem. The moment you disturb it, whether that's a vacuum brush spinning against carpet fibers or a dry cloth dragging across a shelf, you're not just picking that dust up, you're agitating it. And agitation sends the lightest, smallest particles straight into the air. Those particles are so small, some measured in fractions of a micron, that they don't fall back down right away. They can stay suspended in the air for hours, drifting through your home, pulled along by air currents from your HVAC system, a ceiling fan, or even someone walking past. So when you finish cleaning and the room looks spotless, what you're not seeing is the invisible cloud still floating above the surfaces you just wiped down. And here's where it gets worse. It's not just physical dust you're dealing with. There's a second layer to this problem, and it comes from the cleaning products themselves. Many all-purpose sprays, disinfectants, and air fresheners release compounds called VOCs, volatile organic compounds. On their own, in small amounts, they're usually just mildly irritating. But here's the part that surprises most people. Those VOCs can react with ozone, already present in indoor air, ozone that can come from certain air purifiers, printers, or even sunlight streaming through a window, and that reaction can actually form fine particles similar to outdoor smog indoors in the room you just cleaned. So picture it this way. You've got physical dust getting knocked into the air by the cleaning motion itself, and on top of that, a layer of chemical byproducts from the very products marketed to make your home germ-free and fresh. Two separate problems, stacking on top of each other. At exactly the same time, you feel like you're doing something good for your health. If you own a bagless vacuum, pay close attention. Every time you empty that canister, you release a cloud of fine dust directly into your face. Dust mites, mold spores, pet dander, even lead particles from old paint. All floating, all breathable, all landing right back in your home. Indoor air quality monitors have tracked this in real time. Particle counts inside the home spike during and after vacuuming, sometimes higher than the pollution levels outside. Here's why this happens mechanically. Bagless vacuums rely on cyclonic separation, spinning air at high speed to fling dust and debris into a clear plastic canister. It's efficient at pulling dirt off your floor, but the seals and filters on cheaper models often aren't tight enough to hold onto the very finest particles, the ones small enough to matter most for your lungs. Those particles can escape through the exhaust while you're vacuuming, and then again, in a sudden burst, the moment you pop that canister open over the trash can. And if your home was built before the late 1970s, this matters even more. Old layers of paint underneath newer coats can still contain lead, and if that paint has ever chipped or worn down into dust, your vacuum may be stirring up more than you'd expect. But it's not just about the vacuum. It's about who's breathing that air. If you have asthma, allergies, or kids in the house, this isn't a small issue. It's a daily exposure. Every cleaning day becomes a hidden health event. Coughing, itchy eyes, fatigue, even worsened asthma attacks, and most people never connect the dots, because cleaning is supposed to be the solution, not the problem. Kids are actually at higher risk than adults in this exact scenario, for two simple reasons. First, they breathe more air relative to their body weight than adults do, so they inhale a larger dose of whatever's floating around. Second, they spend more time low to the ground, crawling, sitting, playing on the floor, which is exactly where the heaviest concentration of disturbed dust settles after cleaning. For anyone with asthma or allergies, the smallest particles are the real threat, because they're small enough to bypass your body's natural filters, the hair and mucus in your nose and throat, and travel straight down into the smaller airways of your lungs, where they can trigger inflammation and tighten your airways. So, does that mean you should stop cleaning? Absolutely not. Here's what you should do instead. First, switch to a vacuum with a sealed HEPA filtration system. This traps 99.97% of particles, instead of blasting them back into the air. A sealed system means the filter is the only way air can exit the machine, so nothing sneaks out through a gap in the casing the way it can on cheaper models. Second, open a window. Always ventilate while cleaning. Fresh airflow gives suspended particles and VOCs somewhere to go instead of building up and recirculating through your home for hours after you've finished. Third, if you have a bagless vacuum, empty it outside, never indoors. That one change alone removes the single biggest burst of concentrated dust from ever entering your breathing space in the first place. And fourth, vacuum slowly. Fast movements kick up more dust than slow, controlled passes, because quick, aggressive strokes disturb more of the carpet fibers at once than your vacuum's suction can immediately capture. Slow, deliberate passes give the machine time to actually pull particles in, instead of just scattering them further. For simple changes, same clean home, without the hidden health risk. So next time you clean your house, you're not just tidying up, you're either protecting your air, or polluting it. Now you know the difference. If this opened your eyes, hit subscribe, because every week, I break down the hidden why behind the things you do every single day, and comment below. What's one everyday habit you thought was safe, but wasn't? I might make that the next video.